welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Roslyn, but you can call me Roz, Big Roz, whatever you like, as long as it's nice. And we're back for another video today, but it's gonna be a little bit different. As you can see, I am not sitting in my car today, so we're gonna be talking about something other than my sonography school. So as many of you guys know, I am going to school to be a sonography student. Diagnostic medical sonography is basically a fancy term for an ultrasound technician. So I'm going to school in August for that, but that is not what today's video is about. So today we're going to be doing a Q&A from a certified nutrition coach, which is me. So for those of you who don't know, I am a certified nutrition coach through Precision Nutrition in Canada. Shout out to Precision Nutrition for helping me out with that. But yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about what nutrition coaching is, why I became a nutrition coach, and just some tips and tricks to kind of help you out with nutrition. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna be real with you. I had to take my hair down. I ain't even gonna cap because the buns was not bunning, okay? But anyway, so why did I become a nutrition coach? Well, this goes back a long time ago when I was in college. I was pretty, you know, I was slim thick. You know, most of my college time, up until I got into a relationship, and then I ballooned to a weight I had never been before. I got all the way up to 240 pounds. And I remember the life-changing moment for me was I was eating a burrito from Salsaritas, smothered in queso, and I felt like I was about to have a heart attack. Like my heart was hurting so bad. And so that moment changed my life, and I was like, no, we're not going out like this. And so I got on my shit. I went to the gym, I changed my diet. I literally went home and threw all my carbs away. Everything that was carbs, threw it away. And like, I was on a strict diet, strict regime, and I lost that weight, and I kept the weight off for a good 2-3 years, up until I started gaining the weight back. And that's okay. I got down to 180 pounds, which is, to me, I think that I was too skinny. I was too skinny around that time. But I wasn't doing things that were very healthy to maintain that weight. Like if I was excessively checking the scale, you know, not eating as much as I needed to just to maintain that weight. And this is a trigger warning. I know it's already after the fact, but sorry to anyone who has, you know, disordered eating or anything like that. But yeah, it was a battle. It was definitely a battle. And when I started gaining the weight back, I was like, oh my gosh, because I had kept the weight off for so long, and I was so scared to be back to where I was when I was eating that burrito with my heart and everything. And so, you know, I maintained a healthy weight. I think my healthiest weight was 200. Like, you know, I was getting the curves back. I was doing my thing. Like, you know, I was still able to move my body comfortably. But as of right now, I am at 260 pounds. So I am the heaviest that I've ever been, but I also have muscle. So body composition was a big part of it. But back then I didn't know anything about that. And I think that the weight gain that I was experiencing after being that 180 pounds for so long, I was like, I need to understand how I can get my body back down to that 200 range, but in a healthy way. And I needed to understand nutrition. And so I was like, what can I do? And then I found out that you can be a certified nutrition coach. And I was like, well, that would be amazing for me, because my whole weight loss journey, I did myself. I didn't have someone to coach me, to talk to me, to give me tips and tricks on how to have sustainable weight loss. It was just, I was doing quick fix, like everything I was doing, running, cardio. I had no muscle definition. I was skinny, but I had no muscle definition. I wasn't really strong, but I didn't have that person to be like, these are the things. Okay, what are you doing in the morning? How are you sleeping? How are you eating? Like, you know, those types of things. Like, how are you feeling? To kind of keep me on the right path to losing weight and meeting my goals that I wanted to. And so I was like, I think that becoming a nutrition coach will not only help me get an understanding of nutrition for myself, but to be able to help other people. Because at the time that I had lost all that weight, I had friends in the gym with me and we were training. Like I was training them like I was a personal trainer. So it's just, it was something that I felt like I needed to do not only for myself, but something that I could help other people with. And so that's why I became a nutrition coach. So what is the difference between a nutrition coach, a nutritionist, and a registered dietitian? I'm gonna tell you what the difference is. First of all, a nutrition coach and a nutritionist kind of go hand in hand, but not necessarily. You can technically call a nutrition coach a nutritionist. The biggest difference between the two is that nutrition coaches go for a certificate program and nutritionists go further on and get their bachelor's and their master's degrees. And so I would say a nutrition coach, our education is more condensed. So we're still learning basically the same thing. The same concepts. We're learning about nutrition. We're learning about how, macros and micros and things like that work in our body. We're learning the biology, the science behind food and things like that. But nutrition coaching is more so, we're here to be your cheerleader pretty much. We're here to guide you through your journey, your nutrition journey, repair your relationships with food, help you solve your goals and things like that. But we can do that with limitations. So we help hold you accountable, but there are certain things that we can't do that dietitians can do. So certified nutrition coaches, we get the certificates. Nutritionists, they get the degrees. And then you have a registered dietitian who can prescribe meal plans, who can suggest medications and exercise programs and things like that. And they are also board certified. So they had to have a board certification, just like I'll have to have a board certification to become a registered diagnostic medical sonographer. I have to go through board certifications. That's what registered dietitians have to do. They don't just go to school and get the degree. They have to go to school, get the degree, and then go get their boards to be certified. And they work in places like hospitals. They can do therapy. They can diagnose medical conditions and things like that. We cannot do that under any circumstances. That is out of the scope of our practice. That is what we call it in our training, in our field. That is out of the scope of our practice. So I can't do any of those things. So that's the biggest difference. So we're here to be your accountability partner. We can help you. We can say, what are you doing? What's your sleep looking like? Like, what are you doing in your daily life that could be holding you back from reaching your goals? So whenever I do coaching sessions with my clients, I have a triage assessment is what I call it. That's the initial assessment that they have to take that tells me, how many hours of sleep they're getting, how many meals they would like to eat, what a typical day looks like for them and things like that. And then the first thing that I'll have them do after our initial phone call is do a food log. So they're going to log the entire week, everything that they eat. And then they're also going to log their feelings so that I can see how they're feeling and how that could be associated with how certain days are going with when they're eating food. And we're just tracking habits. And so what we do when we meet the next week is we go over, okay, so this is what happened this week. What would you like to happen? What are your goals? And what out of these habits that you did this whole week would you like to change? And we slowly implement those habits and integrate it into their daily life. And slowly but surely, once you start integrating those things, they become a habit over time, and you start to see improvements. And so that's pretty much what I'm here to do. I can't say, okay, so this is what you eat on a daily basis. Here's a meal plan for you. I can't do that. Now, with my meal prep business, I could be like, here's some meals if you would like them. But again, that's out of the scope of my practice. I cannot give you a meal plan or tell you what to eat. I can only help coach you along your journey. Now, if you want a dietitian and a nutrition coach at the same time, that would be perfect. That would be amazing to have. But there's only so much that I can do in my position. Okay, so I want to make this last question a segue into the next video that I'm going to do. So you're going to have to stay tuned for the next video if you want more questions answered. So, what is the best diet? Okay, so I'm going to be honest with y'all. If you're one of my clients, we don't do diets here, okay? We don't do diets. And let me tell you why. Because a diet implies restriction. And we don't do restriction here, especially if you have a damaged relationship with food. I like to follow the no one diet fits all approach, meaning I can't tell you, oh yeah, so keto worked for so-and-so, so let's try keto because, you know, you want to cut out carbs or something. No, first of all, carbs aren't the enemy, but we're going to get into that later. And secondly, I can't do that as a nutrition coach. I have to look at you specifically and figure out what it is that you need, what your goals are, and then we can talk about what the best way to go is. In terms of diets, you don't want to look at something like keto or something like, I'm going to throw intermittent fasting in there. I'm going to throw it in there because I've seen it, I've tried it myself, and I know. There is a thing called sustainability. Sustainability is when you're able to continue doing something for the long haul. And that is the main premise of my program, is sustainability. I want you to be able to leave my program and still do the same things that you were doing for the long haul. We're building long sustainable habits instead of short-term fixes. So diets, yeah, they'll get you to where you want to go. Like if you're trying to lose weight to go to the beach or something like that and you're doing a tomato soup diet, yeah, it'll help you lose weight. And then once you're done with that tomato soup diet and you start eating regular food, you'll gain the weight back because it's not sustainable. So that's so important when you're talking about diets. Another thing about dieting is it's also attributed to your lifestyle. Are you active or are you inactive? Someone who lives an active lifestyle can eat certain things that someone who lives an inactive style maybe can't eat. You could probably eat a lot more protein being active than you can inactive, and it has different effects on your body. You can probably eat more carbs being active, good carbs, the good carbs, like from Whole Foods, like those types of things, less processed carbs is what I mean. You could probably eat more of those to give your body the energy and the fuel that it needs to carry out your active lifestyle versus someone who is inactive, someone who just sits at work, they sit at home, those types of things. So dieting is, you know, also attributed to your activity level. So pretty much dieting is trial and error, and that's a part of the nutrition program as well. You try something, if it's working, then we're gonna stick to it and figure out how we can make it even better. If it's not working, we could tweak it and see if it gets better, and if it doesn't, we'll turn around and pivot and try something new. But dieting is so different for so many people. I know that I have gluten sensitivities, I have lactose intolerance, so I have a lot of like inflammatory PCOS, so there's a lot of things. So there's certain things that I can't eat that other people can eat that would help them lose weight, or help them gain muscle or something like that. I know that whey protein, it does a number on my stomach. I still drink it though, but I know that I'm going to be bloated, and that's just something that, you know, I have to deal with. But there's other alternatives. You can get protein from meat, you can get protein from vegetables, you can get protein from lentils, from black beans, stuff like that. So there's always an alternative. But listen, I'm gonna end this video right here. If you guys liked it, let me know. Thank you for the 21 subscribers though. I don't know where y'all came from. But if y'all like this content, I'm definitely gonna make a part 2 to this video, so stay tuned. And yeah, update on the sonography situation. Volunteering stuff is going well. I'm about to do orientation here soon, and I'm picking up my ID tomorrow from the school, and then next week I'm gonna get my books. So we are rocking and rolling and getting it going, but I'll be making a video about that too soon, so stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends if you want to. All right. Bye.